That's 100. The 2020 Audi RS3 is one of those cars that typically punches way above its weight, with everyday practicality and some sporty looks to give it a difference from the normal A3 Audi. This 2019 one is tuned and it is a beast. Upgraded with a full Eventuri carbon intake, a big intercooler and a downpipe, this car now produces around 500 horsepower over the stock 394. Whether you're tearing up back roads, cruising in the city or flying on the highway, this car is guaranteed to give you big smiles. Under the hood, you've got basically a V10 cut in half with a 2.5 litre straight 5 engine with this very visually appealing Eventuri carbon intake, which just gives it such a cool look under the hood. It produces 394 horsepower stock and 500 horsepower in this shape and form. This car is equipped with the proper MHD tune, which is what pushes it up to 500 horsepower, and it's all paired to an Audi S-tronic dual clutch automatic gearbox, 7-speed, and you get Quattro 4-wheel drive as well. This RS3 keeps things tastefully aggressive with bodywork that doesn't really stand out from the rest of the cars, but you do get some subtle hints that this is an RS car with the black badging, obviously the RS badge as well, big Quattro logo or design down there, and you've got these Maxton front lips as well. The wheel arches aren't as flared, however, as on the M3, which video you can watch in the right hand corner above, and you get these wicked Quattro wheels along with some very nice brakes which will help you stop when you're going very fast. You've got some very aggressive lines down the side of the car, and the side profile is kind of like a bit of a more squished RS5, but I like it. It's a very nice little compact car. And coming around to the back, you do get this added on nice little black spoiler, and of course you get the black logo here and the RS3 and some very big oval exhaust tips, which they feel pretty hot, but they are massive, like you can fit your whole knuckles in there. This car makes such a cool sound. It's very distinctive. It is like a mini V10. As you heard, all those pops and bangs, that was in sport mode, and the slightly calmer and quieter revs, which are still very loud, was in comfort mode, but the difference is insane. This is such a cool car. I really love the sound of it. And then you've got the boot, which is also pretty decently sized for, you know, a mini sedan dash hatchback. If you do want some more space though, however, you will need to go for the hatchback version. Also, some added on visual or kind of exterior tunes are this side skirt, which is from Maxton, as well as the front splitter and this big added on rear diffuser here that you can see. You've got Maxton written on it. Here we are inside of the car. Sorry for the window or door being open. It's currently 36 degrees and I am boiling. In the inside, not much has changed to, you know, the 2018 version of the car. You do get this digital display that will pop up when you start the car, which is, I think, pretty cool. And these kind of air vents also look very airplane turbine-y. And you've got a lot of Alcantara in here. Here on the gear selector, which is classic RS. Also on the steering wheel, here on the sides and on the top you get leather. And on the door here, also Alcantara leather. It's basically soft touch materials everywhere, along with the sunroof. I think the sunroof is something you really want in a car like this. It is the coolest thing ever. And you get these absolutely gorgeous looking RS seats. I think they might be one of my favorite looking seats. They just look so good. So we're sitting inside the cockpit of the RS3 now, and once again, this is such a special thing. After the M3 a few weeks ago, it's a slightly different feeling driving this car. Actually, it's a very different feeling driving this car than the M3. It feels a bit more sophisticated, a bit more modern, as it is, you know, it's a few years older, and you've got that all-wheel drive, but this gearbox as well, it sounds lovely, and the Alcantara steering wheel with the kind of leather top is also really nice. Woo. Goodness me, that sounds lovely. That sounds amazing. This is also a flipping awesome sounding car. I'll try and be more talking about the facts than I was in the M3, although I do know you like to hear engine sounds. But so in here, these seats hold you so well, and you've got obviously the drive mode selector. We're in individual mode now, which is basically sport mode. You've got one big turbo in this car. You can feel slightly the difference between the two, and the ride it's also, you know, obviously very firm. Again, it's a sports car, but it's not unbearable, and I love the sound of this inline five cylinder engine, because it's gorgeous, and the throttle response is so good. And it picks up incredibly well. It's noticeably different from the M3 because of this all-wheel drive, but the dual clutch here as well is just something else. This is so cool, man. Right, let's give it a bit more beans here in the straight. In second gear we are, dynamic mode. Whew. Oh, I love those sounds. It's wicked. Oh, there we go. It's an absolutely fantastic car, and I really think it can be used as a daily. It's not cramped in here, but it's not incredibly spacious either. The room in the back isn't huge. You know, it's not it's more of a driver's car than an everyday thing, in my opinion. That's 100. Hell, man, 150 just like that. Whoa, Jesus Christ. It feels good to give it some gas. I was not brave enough last time with the M3 because that's rear wheel drive, but this gives you so much confidence. It's insanely good, and the sound of that Mini V10 is just angelic. I think if you want a cool car, this sound is more than enough. That M3 sounded so raspy, so outrageously loud. This is like the kind of golden, I don't know, barrier, if you want to call it, or the golden level, where it just sounds extremely gorgeous, and it flies incredibly well. I can't imagine what it's like stock. Well, I can imagine it's a bit slower than this, but this to me feels like the perfect kind of weekend. You know, you do have that minus that it's not rear wheel drive. Like if you're kind of looking for something more sensible as a weekend driver, then this is something you'll want to consider, because it's so good. It feels planted in the corners. It feels just absolutely amazing. Right, let's go down here. Oh, pops and bangs. Everyone likes some pops and bangs, especially stupid teenagers like me. Overtaking with this car is you can really feel when those turbos spool, man. That is nuts. Yeah, so yeah, overtaking is pretty much a joke in this car. You'll have no issues whatsoever. It's so fun. I'm so glad I get to drive this one as well. I'm very grateful to the owner. Once again, I'll leave his Instagram in the description down below. Let me know actually what you think, whether you'd take this, or kind of the straight competitor for this car is the M2. But it obviously has a lot less power and it's rear wheel drive, so it's a bit of a different comparison. But just looking at numbers, the competitor for this car is the M2. We've got a tunnel coming up, and once again, you know what tunnels and downpipes means. It means madness. With this popping and banging and V10 action, well, mini V10 action, I think this is going to sound absolutely bonkers. Oh my god, that sounds good. Goodness gracious me, what a sound. Oh, I think the bangs were even louder than they were on the M3, I'm not sure, but they're very loud. So my conclusion on this car is it's a very, very special car already in its stock form, but this plus, you know, 120 horsepower really gives it that extreme edge. Like, it will beat supercars and even better sports cars. But I think it's such a good car because it flies under the radar. Just going past Bonnar's house, let's give it some beans. Oh, you got to do it for the Huz, don't you? Anyways, so it flies under the radar because it doesn't really look like a supercar, but it's such an incredible machine and piece of kit. It's something I really think if you can kind of have the opportunity to drive it or own it, then, and you're considering it maybe up against an M2, maybe an M3, although that is categorically a level above, but it's definitely a car worth considering. Because I mean, if you just look at the other alternatives, maybe A-Class Mercedes, or you know, the C43 53s, maybe that's kind of in the same class. But I think, you know, obviously I haven't got the opportunity to drive that yet, but one day I will. And now that I've driven a true M car, a true RS car, there's only AMG left, and I'm very curious to see. And I don't think I could decide between the two of these cars, really. They're two very different cars, vastly different, and they serve two very different purposes. One of them is more of a seriously fun rear-wheel drive maniac car with a load of horsepower and some incredible sounds, and this is more of a slightly more refined, but I wouldn't call it refined, don't get me wrong, it's not refined, it's slightly more refined than the M3 was. And the ride is a tiny bit more predictable with this Quattro all-wheel drive system, but the Mini V10 sounds, oh, so good, man. It's a proper bad man car. I think a lot of people in the UK especially have S3s, RS3s, because it's kind of the perfect package. It's very compact, it's a small little car, but it gives you endless thrill. It pulls like crazy with that all-wheel drive. That's flipping nuts. You just get the kind of confidence to give it some more gas because of this all-wheel drive. It really does give you that extra boost of confidence because you don't have the fear basically of, you know, sliding or drifting. This sounds lovely, this car. I love it. My first impression of Audi, and it's some machine, I have to say. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.